Legend continues. Orion gives a big recap of all the past Rangers and where they're from, including the Sentai Rangers like Thunder Squadron, different dimension, Car Force, another galaxy aliens, Bioman, another dimension, Dynaman, funny dimension, Supersonic, not so funny alien rangers, Goggle Jewel, more aliens, Denji Man, of course, from Planet Denji, Lightning Mask from the other side of the galaxy, of course you know about Jack from Andracia, and of course the Guardians of Eltar, the greatest of them all. Luca questions what's up with the recap because it's revealed that Orion and Donnie made a encyclopedia for Power Rangers, in both digital and print. Quick and easy digestible way to explain all the Power Rangers while also keeping the secret identities for the Rangers, secret. Read up so we don't have any more problems. Back with Lavira, she's experimenting with the reanimizer. But before she's able to actually use it, suddenly some ninjas appear. Lavira didn't summon them. They reveal their name as Vexicus and Shimazu, and explain they actually escaped from the Abyss of Darkness. Lavira puts Shimazu in his place, and they reveal they're just here to try and aid them against the Rangers. They prove themselves with Shimazu turning people into cakes. Meanwhile, the pirates are at the beach, studying, but it's pretty clear to Orion that no one's actually doing it. And Donnie comically falls asleep while reading, and his inner tube gets taken out to sea, so Orion and Bailey go after it, as the rest get ice cream. But then they see what's going on, morph, and get into action. They actually have kind of a hard time, especially against Vexicus, even going RPM. And Dino Thunder having a beam struggle, and they still struggle. The rest show up, during which Shimazu opens up the Abyss of Darkness, sending the Prime Color pirates into it. Even Bailey and the nerds, as Vexicus grows giant. They struggle with just Orion's mech, but out of nowhere, Mini-Zord arrives. Helping the pirates, Bailey's pretty confused about this. But then the three are introduced to the Ninja Storm Rangers in Cam. After the fangirling and Orion and Donnie explaining the Ninja Storm team for Cam, he agrees to locate their friends in the Abyss. In the meantime, they learn Wind Ninja techniques from the past Rangers. But then when Cam locates the others in the Abyss, the past Rangers use the Ranger keys to morph again and hop into the Abyss. The rest deal with the monsters, but they're very uncoordinated, being just the three of them. But eventually the legendary Rangers return with the pirates. Marvelous joking, and he's been in worse places. Then we get a full team morph and roll call. Power Ranger, set sail, Ninja Storm, Ranger form. Even when tossing the wrong weapons, everyone gets a little bit of time to show off, with the Ninja Storm theme playing. Even Lavira and Snootus join the fight, for at least a little bit. Some shenanigans, and everyone combines their powers against Shimazu, and when he grows giant, Cam decides just to give Mini-Zord to the pirates, forming the legendary Ninja Storm Megazord. Later, everyone's hanging out on the beach again, and Orion doesn't really get the concept of hanging out on a beach as he keeps trying to spear fish. The Tori tries teaching him how to surf, which he's not really good at, with her joking, well, at least you're trying, unlike my husband. New villain, Sendin, who literally comes in with a business card explaining that he's from the Academy, saying that his talent agency can promote the Zanyak to Earth so they can conquer it using some nice propaganda, literally rolling out a whiteboard with a plan, which puts Vakar to sleep. But Damaris is really intrigued. Meanwhile, at the state fair, the Ranger teams are hanging out. Roy's kind of like whatever about it, but Orion's like, oh cool, this Earth culture. Him, Mia, and Robo Knight are really into the petting zoo. The rest enjoy some rides, and it turns out Jake has been going to these state fairs forever. I mean, just look at this photo of my mom. And we're revealing a little bit of a cameo. Gia thinks this is cute. Meanwhile, Sendin sends in the propaganda. Back at the fair, Invidious and Gorgax are there. Invidious is serving food, and Gorgax is here to repair some of the rides. But there are some really angry people protesting the fact that there are aliens here. The pirates come to their aid, but it turns out the people are more angry about the pirates who stole the past Power Ranger powers. I mean, what the heck? They try to explain, well, we took them in the first place, but we earned it later. That doesn't help at all, they say. As Sendin's beating up the supposed traitors, the Rangers come to their aid. They're fighting on the stage, and it's treated like a big stage show with everyone watching. And Donnie gets hit in the balls. Everyone goes in space and defeats the X-Borgs. They go, Ninja Storm, oh, they left. Senden returns to the White Chariot thinking it didn't work. It was the people cheering the Power Rangers. But it turns out the propaganda might just have because the fair organizer refuses to pay the aliens. The pirates ask why not. I mean, Orion's not even human. With her saying, well, he's different. Look at him. He looks human. The others are just, since the 90s, aliens been invading. Why would I trust them? But the Zinyak returns to the aliens, and the lady have to hide in these tubes. During the fight, Senda shoots out a blast, which Invidious actually catches. The lady starts realizing, well, he jumped in front of me, so aliens are just like people. They have their own cares and wishes, and it was just my dumb prejudice that couldn't see this. She feels bad for her prejudice. And it turns out he's alive again. Joe yelling at him, he really needs to stop faking his death. Oh yeah, Senda's still here. Time Force, and they get him. Damaris is pretty upset it didn't work out, with Snootus laughing at him for his failure. Afterwards, it turns out Gorgax is now a repairman, and Invidious and the lady are now going steady. And the Rangers enjoy the Ferris wheel, until Gorgax now has to fix it. Damaris is getting really tired of Snootus trying to overtake him, thinking he's going to get Vakar hurt, and demands that he shows his worth. With the Rangers, they're hanging out until suddenly Tommy arrives. He reveals the Morphing Masters have revealed that not when we first met, but right now, time's kind of confusing, but anyway, you're now worthy of the legendary Zeo, and then suddenly he gets jumped by a monkey with symbols, getting knocked back into the arms of a robot who puts a control collar on him and teleports him away to a pirate ship. Burnon reveals it was all part of their plan. He summons a bunch of Ranger keys, and yes, Laura has her own. The Rangers have to deal with them. Damaris sighs in frustration, and Vakar's clapping. Yes, Snootus actually gets results, unlike Damaris. If Emperor Dad wasn't mandating him be here, I would so replace him. Damaris questions what does he mean by that, and he's like, oh, nothing, I didn't say anything. Meanwhile, Snootus took the Master Morpher from Tommy. He's uploading info about it to the Zinyak, and he's trying to get Tommy to give them the legendary powers. But Tommy's able to grab the Master Morpher and turn Mighty Morphin white and free himself, going Turbo Red, knocking Snootus back to Earth, and finishing him off with Zeo Red, which gives the pirates an idea to go legendary Zeo. The Zeo theme plays as they defeat the rest of the Rangers. Vakar personally grows Snootus giant, and Tommy gives the pirates the original legendary Zeo Runner Zord, forming the legendary Zeo Megazord, taking out Snootus. But oh yeah, Burnon's still there. He morphs and Orion thinks he can take him again, but it turns out that Burnon's gotten a lot stronger as he breaks Orion's arm and just walks through everyone. Nani tries using the bazooka against Burnon, but he shoots a blast at them, destroying the bazooka. Demorphing them, Burnon goes up to Marvelous, bragging that his powers are upgraded by finding a dark Zeo crystal, so now his powers increase every time he uses them. Revealing he also has Psycho Ranger keys that Lavira made, and he didn't even use them. So, unless you want me to use them, don't get in my way, as I find the greatest treasure in the universe. He demorphs, and we can see some black veins forming on him from the use of the dark energy. Lavira finally gets the opportunity to use the Reanimizer using some diamonds the X-Borg stole, resurrecting Turlin, and he mutates. Good enough. Orion still has a broken arm from last episode, but it's not getting him down, as Marvelous is absolutely frustrated about Burden. Him, Luca, and Joe are training really hard to get onto his level. Meanwhile, Donnie's trying to make a new version of the bazooka, like making a pirate blaster that has 2 key slots. Then he gets attacked, and Turlin's shells mutated to be even stronger. I mean, it can even withstand the Jacka cannon, or even Dynaman, or even the 2 blast. Donnie feels really dumb that he can't just fix it, and he tries calling Noah to ask how he did it, but the Mega Rangers are busy in Stone Canyon with another invasion. But his determination gets him through it and repairs it, pulling an all-nighter, and he falls asleep just as the monster's invading, so Orion has to wake him up. Not even Lightning Mask can go through the shield, not even Blitz, not even Jungle Fury. But eventually Donnie shows up with the Galleon blaster. And finally it works. Megazords and even Orion decides to come in with one-handed driving. This is a tribute to Dino Thunder, specifically the episode Lost and Found in Translation. Donnie's trying to lift everyone's spirits because he found a show about them, something called Gokaiger, and they watch episode 29. Meanwhile, Vakar is sick and he decides to take a sick day and just watch an episode of Gokaiger instead. He really likes it at first until he sees himself being portrayed on the show. And he hates it. They're making him look like a dumb little brat who doesn't know what he's doing and leads an invasion because he wants to prove himself to his dad. Joe thinks it's kind of weird, but everyone else is kind of enjoying it. Even though for some reason they got a guy dubbing the Yellow Ranger. I mean, why is the Yellow Ranger a guy? And in this episode, we see a fly monster get shot at and chased by the pirates like this is a Benny Hill all over the Megazord. It's really silly, especially when, for some reason, the Pink Ranger gets a homemade cosplay costume. Like, what the heck? It's the beginning of Vakar's birth month, and he has a feast and watches Power Rangers. He really likes this pig monster and demands Levira revive him. And does, and he also mutates, like Turlin. Vakar is not happy, but Pudgy Pig can still absorb everything, so Vakar has an idea. As Luca and the nerds are shopping, gets interrupted when the food market gets all their food taken by Pudgy Pig. They jump in and fight until everyone else shows up, and they go Wild Force. Also, Pudgy can upchuck the food he absorbs, demorphing Orion, and he loses his Morpher when Pudgy Pig reabsorbs the food. Orion feels super embarrassed that he lost his Morpher like this. But Garvin is here to ensure him it's not just because of what he can turn into, but the Ranger underneath the suit. And they go to get Japanese food until Pudgy Pig reemerges and he's starving out the whole planet by absorbing food one meal at a time. And we get some unmorphing fight from the two, but electricity also doesn't help. The pirates show up guns blazing, they morph and instantly go Jungle Fury because they're hitting Pudgy Pig's stomach enough so he can upchuck everything, including the Morpher. It might be more than what you turn into, but if you turn into something really powerful, you should do that. So they go Mighty Morphin theme plays to defeat Pudgy Pig, and then when they go Megazord, they just force feed him a bunch of clones of the mini sword until he has the mother of all tummy aches. And afterwards, everyone gets some pig rolls. Make sure to hit the like button and the subscribe button for the next episode.